ETH bridge to Robinhood Chain jumps 10x in days. Token terminal reports ETH flowing from Ethereum mainnet onto Robinhood Chain has jumped roughly 10x over the past few days, according to on-chain data from Token Terminal reported by Cointelegraph on July 6th. The analytics firm framed the spike as a potential source of new ETH demand if the adoption trend holds. The move comes during a strong week for the asset. ETH trades at $1,771 as of July 6, 2026, up 11.9% over the past 7 days. Per CoinMarketCap data, even with the broader Fear and Greed Index sitting at 27, still in fear territory. A 10x jump from a small base. The headline multiple deserves some cold water before anyone extrapolates it. Token Terminal's observation covers a period of just a few days, and bridge flows are lumpy by nature. A handful of large depositors moving funds in the same week can produce a 10x print without any change in underlying user behavior. Neither the Cointelegraph post nor the underlying data point gives an absolute dollar figure for the flows, so the honest read is directional. Activity on the Ethereum to Robinhood bridge accelerated sharply, and the trend is worth watching rather than declaring. Still, the direction matters. Bridged ETH is capital that users deliberately locked into Robinhood's ecosystem instead of leaving it idle on mainnet or on an exchange. That is a stickier commitment than holding ETH in a brokerage account. Robinhood Chain is the broker's bet on owning its rails. Robinhood announced its own Layer 2 chain in mid-2025, built on Arbitrum's technology stack, with tokenized stocks and around-the-clock trading as the flagship use case. The chain is central to the company's plan to stop being a front end for other people's infrastructure and start settling activity on rails it controls. The company has been layering products onto that foundation at a steady clip. Just last week, Robinhood added in-app DeFi lending built on Morpho and USDE, giving its retail base a yield product that runs on open protocols rather than an internal ledger. Rising bridge inflows fit that pattern. Each new on-chain product gives users another reason to move ETH over. ETH is the gas and collateral asset for this activity. If Robinhood's tens of millions of funded accounts begin interacting with tokenized equities, lending markets, and other on-chain products, the ETH required to operate on the chain has to come from somewhere, and the bridge data suggests it is starting to arrive. The demand question for ETH holders. Token Terminal's framing that the surge could signal new demand for ETH if adoption continues is the right level of caution. 1 week of bridge data is not a demand thesis. But the structural argument is straightforward. Every L2 that wins real retail usage becomes a standing buyer and holder of ETH for gas, bridging liquidity and collateral. Ethereum already dominates the settlement layer for dollar-denominated crypto activity, holding 87% of all stablecoin supply as of early July. A retail brokerage funneling mainstream users onto an Ethereum-aligned L2 reinforces that position, rather than competing with it. For everyday crypto users, the trend is another data point in a bigger shift. Brokerages, banks, and fintechs are increasingly settling on public chains rather than private databases. That is the same infrastructure wave that has pushed crypto card deposits past $10 billion this year, with spending products drawing on the same on-chain balances users hold for trading and yield. Market context: ETH outpacing BTC on the week. The bridge spike lands in a week where ETH has quietly outperformed. As of July 6, 2026, ETH's 11.9% 7-day gain leads BTC's 5.0% move to 63,052. SOL is up 11.1% on the week at 80.37, and XRP has added 8.3% to 114. Sentiment remains fragile. The Fear and Greed Index at 27 shows the market has not bought into a durable recovery, which makes structural demand stories like exchange and brokerage L2 adoption more relevant than usual. They represent buyers whose behavior does not depend on sentiment. Whether the Robinhood chain flows sustain past this week is the number to watch. A 10x spike that holds becomes a trend. One that mean reverts was a footnote.